Okay, and we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Today, I'm going to be doing a video on Kendra G's little dating show that she does on YouTube. Welcome, Black Boy. Welcome, B Org. Thank you for joining me. So, yeah, might as well just get started and let's see what's going on.
And you say you want, and you've never in your whole life been in a relationship.
No, I don't date. No, I don't date too much. I be in the house. I'm a homebody. I don't go out much. I go out and I have me time. I don't date. Like, oh, I'm dating him and we just not in a relationship. I'm dating him. No, it's not like that. I don't really date too often.
Well, you just said you had sex 4 weeks ago, so y'all didn't date?
I guess we are dating.
You see, this is what I said last time is a lot of these females don't actually understand that dating doesn't mean the man is intentionally looking to marry you. Dating doesn't mean that you're going to get into a relationship, and dating doesn't mean anything. It just means these two people are being intimate for whatever reason. So in this case, she is dating because he's not looking for a wife. Whatever she's looking for, she's still giving up the box without any type of commitment. So dating is just casual. That's what dating means. And if she's having intercourse with this man, then she's dating. A lot of females like to think that dating guarantees marriage or dating means you're looking for marriage. No, that's courting.
Most recently, I'm just saying in the past leading up to now. But him, yeah, I would say we're dating. Yes. Yes.
But not exclusively, so he could date other
Yes.
people.
Yes. He can date other people. I can date other people. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you get married, do you want a committed sexual relationship or?
It's funny because it's not exclusive. Welcome, Big Zilla. Yes, I see everyone here. It's interesting that she says that she's not it's not exclusive. I find that when a lot of females talk that is they say that it's not exclusive, it's because the man doesn't want to make it exclusive. Any female, unless she is actually wanting it to be casual, if she's looking to pursue a relationship, which she is, or she wouldn't be on the Kendra show, then it's only exclusive because he doesn't want it to be exclusive. It means that the man is never looking for a relationship, wasn't looking for a relationship with you, and he is just there for a good time. And so she really doesn't have control of that.
Would it be open?
Oh no, it would be committed.
It would be committed.
Yes.
Okay. So this guy you're dating right now, you would never want to marry him.
He's a potential, but I don't feel like he is. Right now, we are on a leave. I took a leave of absence. I don't feel like he knows what he wants in his life, so I had to take a leave of absence. I gave him a date, and I extended that date a little bit, a month or two. But I said, hey, I don't feel like you know what you want. If you want something else, that's fine. I have
Okay, see, this is the issue, right? Is it's not that he doesn't know what he wants. And I find that a lot of females, they like to use these comforting words to comfort their failures. And giving a man a deadline, welcome Blue, giving a man a deadline is not smart. Okay? The truth is she should have been upfront about what she wanted in the beginning. But she didn't want to do that, which we're going to find out through the videos. And she thought giving him a deadline will be able to pressure him into folding, into being committed to her. That will never work. That doesn't work. You can't force a man to be exclusively dating you or taking it to the next step when he never wanted to. And that's where I find a lot of females, they always try and control the man that they're having intercourse with. They're always looking to change him. And that was her way of trying to control the outcome of that situation by giving him a deadline. But that will never happen. Let me see this message quick. Women in the mid-20s to early 30s saying they have been in nothing but situationships. I know, right? It's quite disgusting when you really think about it, that throughout the duration of your prime years, you have just been a community box. Nothing more, nothing less but that. It just shows you how little they actually value themselves. Blue Exodus says they are so masculine with mating strategies, but blame men for the outcome. They care about intimacy and looks more than men nowadays. Exactly. That's all they actually care about. The quickest way to get into a female's panties is if she's just attracted to you. That's the truth. To be honest, men don't need to do anything these days. As long as she's attracted to you, the likelihood of you being able to get in bed with her, yeah, it's high. But if you really put in the 80-20% rule, then you will understand that it's not that high, because majority of females don't find majority of men attractive. But if they do find you attractive, then it's easy access. It's okay about the typo. Women in their mid-20s, yep, facts. They wonder why F-boys and hobo guys exist. They don't know how to keep Ken outside of intimacy. No, they don't. And to be quite frank, they never will. Especially if you wasted your prime years. I'll be honest with you. It is too late. I don't think there's such thing as a second chance or whatever fairy tale these females live in. Facts, that part they give box just to keep a man, Boy Wonder said. Maybe that's because that's the only thing they have to offer.
No problem with it. Go with it. I'm open. Go with it. But you can't deal with me anymore. So now we kind of in this limbo. So.
And that's kind of like what you've been doing your whole life. It's like you make this is where it sounds like to me. Y'all have intimacy, and then you create boundaries after the intimacy. And if they don't adhere to the boundaries after the intimacy, you move on to the next. But what
that is, I'm just going to be sober. That's the stupidest thing females do, is you give the guy your body, your time, your intimacy, and then you want to set boundaries. There was never boundaries to begin with. And that's why I say they use promiscuity to try and be able to lure the man in. This is why I say they use their makeup, their clothes. This is the only way they can be able to attract certain men. She's literally a physical manifestation of that. The reason why females are promiscuous, because that's the only way they can be able to attract the guy that they like. And they think getting him hooked by giving him intercourse is somehow going to keep him in place. That will never work. It never does either. I'm late. Welcome, Prada. Excuse me. I'm late, but Kendra's face when she said she never had a relationship was hilarious. She knows these women are promiscuous. I know, right? I think there's some things, it's good that people are revealing themselves. But the fact that you've never been in a relationship and you've given your body away this amount of time, honestly. Kendra's face tells it all. Yeah, you can literally see when she's disappointed. It is disappointing when you're a whole woman and this is what other females are doing. It's like, wow. Such backwards mentality, honestly. But let's continue.
what I'm suggesting is you should have those boundaries before intimacy, because that's why you're 38 and have never had a relationship. Because what happens is you're willing to have a good time, share your body, and you're grown, so you can do as you may, right? So this is not judgment.
Right.
But that way it's not leading you to a relationship.
And I'll just, when she said it's not judgment, right? You can see Kendra is just done. She's over this conversation, right? But this is it. Let's just be real. It is judgment. Okay? She is judging you. She doesn't want to say it because she doesn't want to be harsh and she doesn't want to ruin, you know, when you have females that come on your show, you can't say this is judgment, right? Because ultimately they're not going to come on your show and be as open as they are. But she is judging them, okay? And she's definitely judging her. She's not saying it, but she is. And she can't say it because they won't come and be open. But I'm going to say it. She's judging her, and so am I. And so are many other people going to as well. And this is why I don't agree with this whole sister code and sisterhood um narrative, because this is where the lines get blurred. What she should have just said is, I'm judging you because this is degeneracy. How are you expecting any man to commit to you after you have been giving your box? But she's not going to do that. This is what females do with other females. They lie. They just lie to each other over and over again. Intercourse 4 weeks ago, they don't want husbands, they want fun and freedom. This is how females vet, mind you. Females vet through intercourse. And if you truly understand that, you understand why they end up in their 30s looking for more or changing their ways and being abstinent, because they have used their body to vet men all their entire prime years and it got them nowhere. These women find the men cannot intercourse without using guidance system, being actually ready and sure they want marriage. Yeah, a lot of females don't know how to vet. And, I say this as well on my TikTok, that a lot of females, when they hit puberty, right, which you can hit puberty by the age of 13, 14. But that is the truth. A lot of these females are active after puberty. So we're looking at a good 15, 16. They are being active. Sadly, younger than that as well, which is why I said puberty. And they actually do not learn how to vet first before talking to boys, before going out on dates, before actually having any type of relationship and friendship with boys. They do not know how to vet. They don't learn how to vet. They don't care about learning how to vet. They base everything about dating, which is not courting, by the way. They base everything through dating with their feelings and emotions, which includes also feeling satisfied, like being turned on. That's also a part of that. And that's how they navigate through their dating life since they've hit puberty. That's the truth. That's why they get nowhere. Welcome, Tot. Black woman is trash. Well, I can definitely agree with the females. Yep, they are trash. Intercourse only don't work if her coochie is damaged goods, no matter the age, from 18 till 60. Yeah, that's facts. That is facts.
Because after setting boundaries, after you give it up, he's like, well, no. Or, I'm not going to, or he never was going to rise to the occasion, doesn't feel the need to rise to the occasion. So if you desire a committed relationship, which you have never had, maybe work backwards. Have boundaries before sex. And then see.
But
I said that as well. I said this is so backwards. It is so backwards to think that giving a man intercourse and expect anything more. It's like, it's crazy work, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I think she's a little bit delayed because she's not actually clocking that Kendra is actually judging you in that moment, even though she says she wasn't, but she is. She's actually revealing your degeneracy and all the poor choices that you're making and expecting anything more from it. She's actually putting a mirror in your face and she's just not catching on at all. Welcome, Project Leroy. This is why they need their fathers and grandfathers in their life. Mystique. I think we're in a time today where a lot of females have caught on this whole feminism. I know so many people talk about it, but in reality, when you look at that, a lot of females actually want to be empowered by being independent. And how they see it is today, even if you have a father in your life, the likelihood of them actually wanting to listen to you today in 2025 is not that high. That's the truth. They don't want to be guided by men anymore. And that's including their fathers and grandfathers. So a lot of these females, even if they come from a two-parent household, I'm not saying all, but there is gonna be more than usual that are still going to want to be degenerate and explore themselves and experience life, which is really sad, because it shows you that a man's authority is actually meaning less and less today. That's the sad part about it, is that a man's authority doesn't mean anything to these females. But that's because of feminism, if you really look at it in that sense. Oh, 1 second. So Bjork said they choose Pookie, felons, and scammers. They want to blame the good black men. I know, right? They never like to ever want to put the blame on themselves. That, because if you admit that you are the one that messed up in everything that you did, then no one can feel sorry for you and comfort you. Big Zilla said it's hardcore coded into female nature. Sadly, this is why men had to pick their husbands to begin with. We're seeing in real time why that was highly necessary. Exactly. It is very necessary. But they don't see it that way today. That's why I don't feel sorry for them. They're choosing it.
Who was willing to commit with you?
He was just fine. I'm sorry.
And there we have it. I'm so happy you said it. I am so happy you said it. That's all I'm trying to get
sorry.
Because only 5 men get these types of benefits. I'm happy you said it, because I know what it is.
Yes.
I know that you are having sex with people you want to have sex with. They're probably attractive. They probably have money. They probably have swag.
Yes, they have
you're breaking all these rules. They have money. They have swag. They're fine. But at some point in time, if you
excuse me, I was on mute that time. So she is what you would call, and I hate this word, okay? It's not really my lingo, it's not my language. It's something that a lot of females use, but that is what I see, okay? Because she's telling her that, listen, this is why you have low values. You gave up your body, you gave up all these things because this guy was fine. And she's just nodding away like, yeah, I totally did. Why? Because she's demonetized, if you get the drift. Yeah, she's completely like head over heels about this guy. And so in that moment when she's talking, when Kendra is actually putting a mirror in her face and saying, you're an idiot, okay? You are an idiot for actually thinking that giving a man access to your body because he is fine and he has all these aesthetics actually means something. No, but she's so demonetized that she is head over heels at the fact that she gave this guy her body. That's why she's smiling. She's not really mentally there. I personally think she's a little bit delayed, but she's still not there. She will soon catch on that Kendra was actually talking about you. But because she enjoyed whatever moment she had with this guy, she's not catching on. Her head is in the clouds. That's why you got that. That's why she's grinning. You can see all her teeth. Her head's in the cloud. And that is what the reference is, demonetized, because it's like even when it hits you in the face that this is pointless, they don't care because they had such a great time. Definitely low IQ. My biggest complaint is how they process their pain. I've come home to grown women staring me down like I cheated on them when I was 12. This all men are annoying because my pain-ish is annoying. Yes, they do project a lot of their past relations. I would even say relations, because relationships, because it never really is one, to be honest. Project Leroy, what benefits is she giving besides intercourse, Kendra? That is true. I mean, I guess that's the only benefit that she is giving is intercourse. That is literally the only benefit she's giving. And I mean, in that itself, if a man doesn't have to do anything to have easy access, then it could be seen as a benefit to him. I mean, it's not the biggest or life-changing benefit, right? Because it's just intercourse and it's just used up coochie. But it is a benefit if he's getting it quick, right? In that sense. But yeah, there's no other benefit to that. Maybe you can just say, hey, he got to have fun. When you look at benefits, how does it actually help him? So I can understand that question as well. Is it really a benefit? Good question.
You want a relationship, you're going to have to try to get these type of men out of your system or have them arise to your requirements before you sleep with them. And this is why men like this, ladies. I'm so happy we spent time with you. This is why these type of men do not commit, because they don't have to. There's no reason for a fine man with money to commit to women, because they're going to be able to get sex and what they want from a woman. And when you don't want them no more, there's another girl who's cute, beautiful,
right,
that
but it
will
works
want
the same
him.
way. I'm that way as well. I don't have to commit either. I don't have to put up with what you're giving.
You. That's not true. That's not true, because you actually want a relationship. Now, if
right,
you
but I don't have to stay. That's the type of woman I am. I don't stay.
But
she is lying now. She's finally caught on that Kendra is talking about her. She's finally caught on that, oh, this is actually about me. And it goes the same way. No, it doesn't go the same way. It never went the same way. Or you wouldn't be on Kendra's show and you would have never gave that man a deadline to begin with. Why are you lying? And this is what females do. When you actually put a mirror in their face, they just start to lie. They just start to lie because they don't want to seem like the actual backwards mentality that they have. They don't want that to be revealed. But it's a big lie. It is not the same way. Or you would have never gave him a deadline. You would have just continued doing what you're doing. But at 38, you realized that this is not the way you want it to go. I mean, it's not really a realization, which is why I say, like, any female that hits 30, right? And you're only coming to realize that things are different and life is changing. To me, that's not realization. That's not an epiphany that they call it. To me, you're just slow. That's the truth. You're just slow. There's no way you're catching on after a decade later that the way you have been dating and the way you have been having these different relationships with men has not been benefiting you at all. That is not a realization. I think to have a realization actually takes some type of intelligence. You have to realize something beyond yourself, some type of new information, even light. That is not light. That's just a pure stupidity. And you realize how stupid you was. Okay, let me just welcome people. Welcome, Royal. Shalom, Princess. Shalom to you too. Welcome, King. Pete. Now we can see why fathers, older brothers, or uncles were responsible for choosing their mates, because left to themselves, the average female mind will be an agent of chaos. Exactly. You would think, right, that with feminism, you would actually see some type of new, improved women that are using their opportunities to be really empowered. You never see that. You never hear it. That is the truth. They don't have to. Project Leroy, why would those men commit to her besides intercourse? That's a lie. Kendra tries to equate men to women. Why would those men commit to her besides intercourse? That's a lie, Kendra. Yeah, that is true. It's like they don't like to really talk about what does it take for a man to actually commit to you. And females hate this conversation because when you begin to entertain this conversation, one, they don't want to put a man on a pedestal, okay? It's this whole new time we're in. Or why do I need to do this to get a man to commit to me? Why do I need to do this to get this? Why can't he just love me for me? But that's not reality, because the truth is you don't even love the man for himself either. You expect him to have some type of character, lifestyle, or whatever it is you're looking for. So it's just completely double standards. But when you do begin to tell them that a man expects certain characteristics and skills or whatever it is to be able to get him to commit to you, they don't like that conversation because they realize they lack. It actually begins to reveal all the things that they don't have, all the things that they never worked on, and that really begins to sting. Okay, it does. it begins to sting because it's just like, ooh, this is why no one in my life committed to me. That is a conversation no female likes to have, no female likes to engage with, because all you're doing is revealing all the things that she lacks and all the reasons why she would never qualify for a man to commit to her, especially when she's 30 plus. Yeah, they hate that conversation. They really do. Big Zilla, quick and free. The fool who tries to date her will pay for all the box he got for free. That is true. That's why they don't like the conversation about body counts. That's why they don't like the conversation about past, because at the end of the day, they want men to still treat them as if they are valuable. And by talking about your past, you really begin to reveal to a man how much value he doesn't really need to invest in you when you've already given it up. Dane C, salute. Remnant Princess, salute to you too. B org feminism, F them. Yes, it did. It really did. That's the truth. Differently. But they're trying to make the best out of it. That's what I'm seeing. They don't want to admit they're wrong and they actually messed up big time. So they're trying to make the best out of it, right? That's what I'm seeing. They're sore losers that don't want to admit they lost.
You're not understanding, but what you're not understanding is you are still not getting what you want. Like, right. I know that you think I think that you think you're running the game, but in actuality, sweetheart, the game is being run on you because you're 38 sometimes. Years old.
Yeah, no, not sometimes. Okay, the game is being run on you in every sense of the word. She described it perfectly. Okay, the game is literally being run on you. Okay, the men are literally running through you. The game is being run on you, everything. You are not playing the game. So I don't know why she's saying sometimes. And that's what females do. They argue with logic because their emotions have kind of felt convicted in a sense. So when she's telling her the game is running through you, she felt that. She's like, oh, hold on. What are you saying about me now? Are you telling me that I'm being ran through? Yes, you are being ran through. That's the point. You are. But she doesn't want that narrative to put out there. So she will say sometimes to show that she's in some type of control, but you're not. Just be real. Don't try and argue with logic. And that's what females do. The only time they argue with logic is when they're triggered or they feel convicted with the truth. And they don't want that truth to actually be a reality. King said, what's worse is that the most obvious deterrent to feminism is right in the Bible. I say that because, as we know, these are the same women that be claiming the Lord is going to bring them a man. I know, right? When did God become a matchmaker? I find that these females, this is why I say they try to make the best out of the worst situation. And this is where they use God as a scapegoat because they have nowhere else to go. And, I understand why men don't go to church now. In church is a great place when you actually do find the right person who actually does really preach the Bible, right? But I understand why a lot of men don't go to church anymore because it's saturated with lies. Like, oh, God is gonna forgive all as long as you do this. There's levels to this. Like, just be real. Like, if you have been a FIFA your whole entire life, don't expect that God is gonna give you this great man. Like, he deserves better. Don't you think he deserves better than a 304? Do you not think he deserves more than a community box? So I find like the church actually has a lot to play with this because what you have is a lot of pastors are feeding into these females' egos and their low self-esteem to keep them coming. And this is the truth about God that they don't like, is that chastise is a real thing. And they don't want to face that part of the Bible. But they will use everything else that sounds lovely because comfort, just like comfort food, they like comfort words to comfort their failures. Big Zilla, damn, Kendra hit her with the well. Yes, she did. I understand that because when someone is arguing with logic, it gets irritating. You begin to snap. I didn't understand this until I was doing TikTok. And what happens is you talk to these females and you try to give logic, but they argue with emotion, and then you snap because you're just like, wait, you have given your body, you ain't doing much, you're a failure, you're looking for all these things, and you're arguing with logic. Like, why can't they just be real and be like, you know what, yeah, the game is running through me, I am losing, I'm taking a big L, just be real. But they don't be real. They just lie. And this is the part where you get from Kendra. She begins to snap because it's not that, I don't think she's just trying to make a clip moment. Is when someone is arguing with illogical points, you begin to just say, okay, I'm just going to be real with you now. You're an idiot. And that's the part you kind of get from Kendra a little bit. She does kind of sugarcoat it a little bit, but there is a genuine sense of patient running out, because a human can only be able to be patient with illogical thinkers for so long. Okay, a sane human being cannot deal with stupidity for that long. Welcome, Tall Walt. Modern females, I'm learning without a man or kids, eyes purple crying. Yeah, I agree. Facts. Yes, boy wonder.
Well, if you're 38 years old and you have 2 children and you never had a relationship, the game been getting run on you your whole life. Well, I'm now trying to give you real talk now. I'm going to give you real talk.
Okay, that's the video. And she in the end she mentions that she has 2 children, and she's gonna give a real talk. Basically saying that you have been losing. This whole dating has not been working for you. You've been knocked up by men who never wanted to commit to you. You're still giving your body, and you're getting nothing out of it, and you think you have some type of control of this game. You have no control. You never did, and you never will. And I think it really took Kendra a lot of patience to get to that place where it's just like, listen, you're a single mom with 2 children. Don't tell me about you running any game, because you're not. You ended up with 2 pitney and no man in your life. How are you running the game? How? It's obvious you're not running the game. It's obvious you have lost. It's a big L. I think a lot of these single moms really think that they're winning. B York says, Princess, you're already blocked from the cookout. Now they will come for your neck. I don't mind. Live, crash, go to bed, expect God to fix past. Doesn't happen. Church trying to shame targets into church to marry off their single mothers, to attract more single mothers, to keep that money flowing. Yes, I do believe that a lot of these churches are definitely using females and their failures to be able to keep the money flowing. I do think that, especially now with all these females that have failed and get nothing out of relationships, they get lonely. This whole single by choice, I think, is cap. I don't think anyone really truly chooses to be single, especially these females, because you are going to want companionship. Your brain is literally you're made to have someone. We're social creatures. Being single by choice is just an outright lie. You're just lying. Kendra contents forget she on the show to make a good impression for the men. Unfortunately, it's an interview for their social media platforms. Kendra forgets she's on the show to make a good impression for the men. Unfortunately, it's an interview for yeah. I mean, at the same time, she just wants to make money. So I think she doesn't try to be she does forget. That is the truth. She does forget. But at the same time, the only way to keep the guys coming, if you got the females coming, right? And sometimes you have to pander to keep them coming. Dane C. Rem, who is the British equivalent of Kendra G? Good question. I don't think there is one, to be honest. I don't think there's an equivalent of Kendra G in the UK. I don't. I actually don't. I don't think that really exists. I don't think I don't think there is one. Maybe in the future there will be. There's no dating shows in the UK online on YouTube in that sense. I don't know if females are willing to do it or who's willing to start it, but there's no equivalent of Kendra G in the UK. I'm just gonna be real. There's none. You do see some of them, they go on TikTok and they do like these dating shows, but would I say that's an equivalent? No, because she's actually on YouTube. She actually has a platform. So is that an equivalent? No. But you do find them on TikTok. I've never stayed enough to watch. That's the truth. I just see it on my For You page and scroll right past. Big Zilla, the city, a lifetime of failure, and she's asking for serious bidders. I know, right? I know. Like, that is the worst investment that any man could ever think of. Like, you have made it clear that you are damaged goods. And I wouldn't even say goods anymore. I'm just going to be real. Because I think you are past being good. You know, you're a single mom. We don't even know if she has two baby dads. Whatever the situation is, you've never been in a relationship. You're no longer damaged good. You're just damaged. There's nothing good came out of that situation, and it never started off good either. They love themselves so bad. Exactly. San, welcome. I met a girl yesterday. Honestly, I don't know. She sounds like a normal, regular girl. At least, at best, body count below 5 or under. Who knows? I mean, the best way for you to, there's only a few females that will really talk about body counts. And I don't know. I mean, it's understandable when you first interact with someone out the gate for them to just tell you the body count. Yeah, you can't really expect that. But when you start actually getting to know them, then yeah, maybe they should be able to tell you.
Never in your whole life been in a relationship.
No.
Okay, sorry guys. The laptop did kind of go off a little bit. I had to charge it. But I am back. So yeah, I think when it comes to the whole conversation about body count, you know, at some point, if you're actually courting, right? If you're actually courting, not just dating, because there is a huge difference, and you have been talking to this woman for a while, and you actually want to take it to the next step, like, hey, let's be in a relationship and actually let's see where this can go, then I don't think the conversation about body count should be such a tricky topic. But there are ways for you to find out. Okay, it really, today in 2025, you can be able to tell if she has a high, low body count, how she dresses, through her pictures. Sad to say, even her friends today, there was a time where you could 50-50. Yeah, some friends will probably be a certain way, but at some point you are going to want to pick your friends wisely. So even the friends, what type of friends does she have? Does she completely act like her friends? It depends how young she is as well. The older she gets, you would expect that if she is not wanting to be a 3 or 4, why would she hang around with 3 or 4s? When I say older, around 27, 26, you do expect for your circle to be a bit different. Younger, you can understand, okay, the group is a bit mix and match. What is she like? But there are ways you can definitely find out they have a body count with them actually having to tell you. And if they never tell you, then I do think that's a red flag. If someone is courting, it is a red flag if they never tell you. At some point, you are intentionally looking to get married, right? So why should this be a tough conversation if this is what we both want? Yes, the charger, the laptop did kind of go, guys. I apologize. I'm sorry. Big Zilla, the city, ish fellas, the cabal of bitter women are onto us. Cheese it. Yes, a lot of these females are very bitter. They're bitter at the fact that they couldn't be able to get what they want with everything that they tried. You know, a lot of these females do try, okay? And maybe they don't try hard enough, but they try with promiscuity, is what I mean. That is females trying. The more promiscuous she is, that is her actually trying to be able to get a man to commit to her. But really, what that reveals is she actually has no qualities about her at all. Give me a couple of weeks. I'm planning to ask her introspective, deep questions. I need a psychological profile of her before taking her seriously. Give me to 3 to 4 weeks to find out. Okay, good luck. I do hope it goes well. Interesting to know the questions, but yeah, definitely good luck. Project Leroy says, here's the thing about body count. Guys, do want to know that however they expect women to give them a number, make things easy. What they should do is make them the jump off until proven otherwise. I feel like I don't understand that. Maybe because I'm not a man. Here's the thing about body count. Guys do want to know that. However, they expect women to give them a number to make things easy. What they should do is make them the jump off until proven. I don't understand that. I don't understand what you mean by jump off. I'm just going to be so real. I do know that they want to know that, but to get that information, I mean, the truth is, you know, if they have a high body count, then they you know, this is it, right? People say they can lie, which is true, they can lie, and which is why you got to, which I agree, ask the right questions and also actually just gonna be real, completely judge everything about her because they're judging you as well. Okay, let's not act like people aren't judging each other. Judge everything about them. So how they dress, who they're with, their social media, what do they post on their stories, what are the comments like, who are they around, everything. You know, at the end of the day, this is how vetting goes, right? Free box. I'm having laptop problems too. King, people don't even realize that dating is a game. It was never designed to lead to marriage because it's the whole purpose was to get around the protections of true courting. Courting led to marriage. Yeah, that is true. A lot of these females, they like to misconstrue the word dating and they think that dating is going to lead them to marriage when really it just leads you to being a community box. I don't know. A lot of people like to, not even a lot of people, I think a lot of females, they like to reword things and put their own definition. And then what they don't understand is words have always had definition. And if you are dating and expecting marriage, it doesn't matter how much you want marriage, dating doesn't get you married. And this is the part like it's so illogical. If you want to be married, you're gonna need to court. But going into dating and expecting people to court you is not going to work. So it's like they reword things and then use those words the way they want to experience it, but words have definition. So it doesn't change the reality that dating is never going to get a man to marry you. Courting does. Jump off, equating concubine. Okay. Bjork said jump off, springboard. Okay, I get it now. Henry, welcome, says no woman would tell you the exact number. She herself don't remember. Yikes. Yes, there are females like that. That is the truth. There are females that don't remember. That's the tricky part. It's interesting as well. Do they agree with a soft girl era, femininity era? Look into all the things that they also get into when it comes to like social media and what they're entertaining. Healing era, that also gives you like a little bit of understanding of where her mind frame is at and why she's choosing to do things. Because at the end of the day, I think a true feminine woman isn't going to buy this soft girl era, for example. I think all of these eras reveal where they are at in life. So if any female is doing soft girl era, she's very masculine and she's just trying to be feminine. That's what soft girl is about. It's for all the masculine females who are trying to be feminine. Then you got the whole healing era. Guess what? She has a lot of problems. A lot. Okay? And one way or another, you're gonna have to deal with it. And then you got, what other errors are there? I can't even think of them in the top of my head. Then you got the abstinent error, the celibacy error. I mean, hey, that one is proof is in the pudding. Okay, she's been there way too many times, and she wants to stop. She wants to cut it out. So I think, what does she engage in her day to day life? Like hot girl summer, that should let you know she's active when it comes to being in a hookup culture. Okay, that just means she likes to be in a hookup culture and she loves to be liberated. That's how I see summer girl. City girls, she likes to play tricks and takes men money. So these are also other ways you can find out their body count. You may not know the exact number, but you will know, is it high or is it low, when they're also entertaining these useless errors. Errors don't even last for a long time. So I don't even know why they invent it. It's not even, error is a period of time. So for a period of time, you're going to be what? Soft. For a period of time, what? You're going to be celibate. So basically, at some point, they're going to go back to their ways. Project Leroy, most men refuse to due diligence. Therefore, they assume the female's clean. That's where they go wrong. Yes, they do. I think it's this is like the value that women are born with, right? You're born with your value, and that kind of inherently comes with you're pure, you're clean, you're soft and you're feminine. That's what you're really born with. So I think it's hard for men to kind of detach that, because that is what she's supposed to be. So why isn't she? And I think that's what's going on. So that could be really hard when biology tells you that she's supposed to be like that, but she's not. At this point, virgin women are winning my book, Body Blue Raised Arms. I'm not going to ask straight up about her body count. That's where the psychological profile comes in. She sounds like a body 5 and below, but her eyes with that body she has. I mean, a lot of people here are giving some advice as well. So, and just see how it goes. But I think the more you talk to them, the more you understand whether it goes somewhere or not. You still learn about these females and how they answer questions, and every answer, even if they're not answering directly, there is a direct truth in that, and that's what females do. They like to romanticize everything. Okay, this is how they can overlook red flags, because they romanticize everything. Okay, you wonder how they in bed with Pookie, how they get pregnant by Ray Ray, and the smug dealer, whatever. All the red flags, they romanticize it. And that being said, when you are interacting with females, they're going to romanticize their own failures, because they romanticize everything. So they're not going to directly tell you that I failed multiple times. They're going to romanticize it and make it seem like it's this lovely love story that she discovered herself. Welcome, skinny boy. Women lie about body count. That's an easy assessment over the phone and on social media. Facts on facts, it is. Body count, men I claim. Boy Wonder said, facts, Henry. Welcome, Kennedy. Remnant was good. Kennedy, sorry. Excuse me. Oh, welcome, Kennedy. Yes, everything is well. Oscar, all Project Leroy says, Oscar, who or she go on trips with? If it was with a man, red flag. If she went with a bunch of girls, multiple red flags. Ask her about the experiences with her tattoos and listen without interrupting. Yeah, that is actually listen without interrupting. Because when you interrupt females, they will change their authentic answer. And they will change the authentic answer because they don't want to be judged and they don't want to feel like they're being judged. So that is, I think, that's very true. Listen without interrupting because you want to get the authentic answer, even if she's going to romanticize it all. But without interrupting, you really do get an authentic answer, and there's a lot of truth in that. So yeah, Project Leroy is definitely dropping some gems. Mystique, in other words, women love living in delusion. Exactly. Okay, guys. Facts, Project Leroy. Let them talk about experiences. Yep. That's what they do. They just reveal it all. Trust me. You know, females love, women in general love to talk, right? You can use that to your advantage. That's all I am saying, okay? Use that to your advantage. This is what like a lot of these like Kendra G, these podcasts, you know, all the ones that you see blow up, that's what they do. Even that NBA player with that Dr. Cheyenne, whatever her name is, you know, the false doctor, you know, that's what they do is they allow them to be able to talk about their experiences without being heavily judged. And when you don't make them feel like you're judging them, even if you are, okay? You know, even in the back of your mind, think, wow, you are a 304. I'm gonna back away. You don't need to show that side because you're getting to know her. So you know, let her feel that, you know, I'm not being judged. I can really be myself, then she will be able to tell you who she really is without even realizing it. And that's what a lot of these podcasts do as well. I mean, they do tell them who they are, but essentially that outright judgment is not always there because a lot of females are not going to want to tell you about their experiences if they always feel like they're being judged. Project Leroy is cooking, facts on facts. Bjork, don't stop a woman from chatting, just listen. Exactly. The proof is always in the pudding. So yeah, today was definitely an interesting video with Kendra G and a single mom with 2 kids expecting commitment after giving away her box throughout her prime years because she's 38, never been in a relationship, and 4 weeks ago, whenever that time was, she gave her box away to a man that didn't want to date exclusively. It just lets you know that a lot of these females, you know, I'll just be real, can be very slow. That's what I got. A little bit delayed, you know, demonetized, as they like to put it. They made that word because that is a true experience for them. I don't know how, but it is. And that is what it is. So I thought that was definitely an interesting video to share. And I'm definitely going to be doing more lives. I got some more videos coming up to do on live. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with everyone because I think this video is going to be really good. So yeah. Skinny boy, Skinny says, hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button. I appreciate every single one of your support. Very much appreciated. So yeah, I will be posting a video tomorrow, and I will be back with another live with a podcast. I'm not going to tell you too much, but yeah, because that'll just spoil it, right? So once again, I want to thank everyone for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you, and yeah, talk to you soon again, I guess. Have a nice day and bye.